We need to talk about the AMDeath situation. Before we really get into what's going on, I think that I really need to explain this point. First of all, a lot of people know that I do have a lot of videos where I talk about why Intel is just better than AMD. And that is because from my personal experience, Intel is better. I've always had Intel CPUs. I used to have AMD CPUs, but for now I have all Intel CPUs. They perform better for me, overclocking. So I just want to explain, I'm not an Intel fanboy. I just buy what's fastest because I'm an overclocker and want the best performance out of my rigs. So what is going on? Now, as you've probably seen now, I'm like one of the last people to ever cover this video, but that's besides the point. AMD CPUs are dying. A lot of them are just dying randomly. You might see a bubble underneath the CPU where literally the CPU is like desoldering itself. It's getting that hot. Motherboards are killing them. So this can be seen a lot of times by the SoC voltage on these. AMD is blaming EXPO for this, which is their version of XMP. And it's just what you enable when you buy, like, let's say a 6000 CL30 RAM kit, which is probably what a lot of people are buying for Ryzen. It's kind of that sweet spot. But we'll get into that a little bit later about why I might have a problem with that. So AMD is blaming EXPO, which I understand why they're doing it. It's technically overclocking. It is going against their max supported speeds. When you're looking at the 7800X3D product page, you'll see that max memory speed just for 2 DIMMs times 1 rank, so single rank RAM, is 5200. On some really good CPUs though, you can run about 6400 with that. It just depends on your memory controller. But they're only saying 5200 is guaranteed to work. And anything past that is considered overclocking and voids your warranty. Which, okay, I understand this. Intel does the same thing. If you enable XMP past, I believe it's 5600 megahertz on like my 1300K. I'm running 7800 megahertz, by the way. So that's a little bit of a difference there. They're okay, cool. But here's my issue. AMD in their footnotes, you can see this, and put up a picture right here, is literally using unsupported memory that voids the warranty. They're using 6000 CL30. Now, if someone like, a tech creator wants to publish their numbers using a certain RAM speed that's not maybe supported, that's perfectly fine with me. That's independent journalism. They can do whatever they want. But I do have an issue when AMD and Intel are releasing benchmarks that are not supported by warranty. A lot of people who buy products don't really want to have to deal with, oh, is it dead? Oh, yeah, I don't have warranty. They want to make sure they have the warranty for the life of the warranty period. They don't want to do something that they see online. Hey, do this, and then boom, they don't have a warranty anymore, which is kind of what XMP is. So AMD, fix your slides. Show your performance at the max rated speed. 5200, just find the fastest 5200 megahertz kit and compare it. I'm perfectly fine with you just benchmarking, obviously, and I'm fine with other people doing it. But AMD, at least say like in your video, hey, you might not get these RAM speeds, or hey, using these RAM speeds, this is what you get. Just even show the difference too between 6000 C30 and losing your warranty and 5200 and keeping it. It's really annoying to me. And this really sucks for the consumers. I think a lot of people know AMD, especially their X3D CPUs, like last gen of 5800 X3D. It's literally like the NVIDIA version of a CPU on an AMD side. It literally just works. Like you plug that CPU in, you just have good FPS. It was great. The 5800 X3D is great. 7800 X3D really kills my love for the X3D CPUs. And the fact that some people don't even know like what a motherboard BIOS is. I work on PCs. That's how I'm able to support myself and make money for this channel. And I'm like, people are like, what's a BIOS? And now you're telling them to update their BIOS? No, this shouldn't be like expected to happen. Instead, what AMD really needs to do is just, they need to work better with these motherboard manufacturers to get EXPO working better, make sure the good compatibility, set rules for voltages. Even if AMD knows, like let's say they're now saying like 1.3 volt SoC is the max you should go. Let's say that they know 1.3 volts is max. Maybe have it set so the motherboard doesn't go past 1.25. Or that it shouldn't go past 1.25 unless needed. That's fine. Now, like for example, like when you look at an Intel motherboard and you plug one in, typically all brand new Intel motherboards if you are running like latest BIOSes and stuff, which typically all the motherboards are, or even on some of the older BIOSes, if you're on a 13th gen CPU, you can get 7200 XMP working just like that. Auto voltages, it'll work. 12th gen's a little different. You're definitely not going to get that high auto, but we do know that voids warranty as well. Not going to like say, oh, but hey, it voids your warranty. Now, I'm not going to just blame this on AMD. I'm going to blame this on the motherboard manufacturers. They shouldn't be pumping these much voltages. I understand why they do it. They do it because they want to make sure the users have the proper experience, so they're not dealing with crashing or anything, because that eventually will go to the motherboard manufacturer or the CPU manufacturer. For example, Asus for years has been known to pump stupid voltages into their CPUs. For example, on like 10th gen, dude, if you left like certain memory controller voltages on auto, they go to 1.6, 1.7. Like that at like 4000 megahertz, dude. It was just unnecessary. So Gigabyte is doing the same thing. Buildzoid actually did a video where literally the SoC voltage that you input is being overridden on certain BIOSes by Gigabyte in just auto, which is really stupid and really annoying. Because imagine someone saying, oh, I have this really good scaling at this low voltage, but it really got changed and they don't know it. But this is really just an AMD thing. Like, you're going to really just see a bunch of people are having issues with AMD motherboards, which means they're not getting the quality that they need. Motherboard manufacturers, put better emphasis on both platforms. I'm not saying the Intel platform is perfect either. There's someone in my Discord, and with one Asus board, killed 3 Intel CPUs. That's a broken motherboard. The motherboard couldn't even overclock RAM either, and that passed quality assurance. So that's a rare case. It was an Asus board though. Just stay away from Asus boards if you can. Now, I know they look good. I know the Apex is really good at overclocking. Just stay away from Asus for a couple of generations. Let them fix their stuff. But for someone who does have a 7800X3D or any other Ryzen 7000 CPU, what are my best recommendations for doing this? First of all, just update your BIOS. Look up your motherboard online, put it onto a USB FAT32 drive, update your BIOS. Then you should be all good to go. Also, just make sure you have a good cooler. I'm really going to recommend a liquid cooler here. All in one, get like an LT720 by Deepcool. That is probably the best, or a Thermalright Frozen Knot 360. It's about half the price and basically the same. They both are insanely good value to AIOs. I'll leave a link down below to those. The reason you want a good cooler though is because lower temperatures means lower resistance, like lower thermal resistance, lower power draw, then less chance of degradation. The lower you keep your temperatures, the lower your power draw, the less chance you're going to degrade your chip, and the least likely chance of death. Let me know if you want me to do more like news videos or me sitting down and kind of talking, putting images and stuff up. Let me know if you guys enjoy hearing me talk. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Join the Discord if you haven't. Price update, by the way, to my service. It's now $150. So price did increase. I had to keep up with demand, so allow me to also just come back to content a little bit. But hope you guys have enjoyed. Peace.